Okay guys, so as part of the coaching program that we offer here at VIP Financial Ed, we're all about providing resources and tips and tricks to go further, faster financially and do so really safely. On today's video, I'm gonna show you really quickly how within just a matter of minutes, Credit Karma saved me nearly $29,000 in total costs. Now, a few weeks back, I was pursuing access to another loan, and it was in the form of a mortgage. Now, I went ahead and contacted a really close resource of mine who I consider to be a great friend, who is in the mortgage industry, somebody I've used in the past on multiple occasions. And I went ahead and submitted what they call a 1003. Now, a 1003 is the official name of a loan application when you're applying for home loans. He went ahead and took the information, he ran credit, and it alerted me through Credit Karma that an inquiry was now added to my credit report. This is one of the best parts about monitoring your credit through a resource like Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. First of all, they're completely free of charge. They're relatively secure. I don't feel at all concerned about the information I've provided them in order to have an account with them. And they allow me to receive notifications anytime something funny is happening with my credit, including but not limited to account changes and inquiries and so forth. So I end up getting this notification that a credit inquiry has come through, which I was expecting. And lo and behold, immediately Credit Karma suggests, hey, don't forget, you have a 14-day window to shop this mortgage. Now, I was relatively pleased with the information that my resource had provided me, quoted me on a $484,350 loan, a 3.875% interest rate. I mean, we're back to almost record lows at that level. And I think to myself, what would we recommend in coaching? And we've always suggested to people that you certainly go out there and make sure you're price shopping. And when Credit Karma says I have 14 days, what they mean is based on the older versions of FICO credit scoring, you had a 14-day window of opportunity where you could price shop, and only that first inquiry was really going to be impacting your credit scores. It's widely known that inquiries are going to generally dip your credit because it shows the formula that you're out there applying for credit to be extended to you. And so it's a sign of potential risk, and they want to make sure that it's reflected in your scores. And so they give you this opportunity to shop for the best prices and the best interest rates for this 14-day window. Now, that's on previous FICO scoring models. The newest formula actually gives you up to 45 days, which is great. So I think based on this recommendation, I'm most definitely going to click this button that pops up, and I'm going to go ahead and check out what Credit Karma suggests. I'm curious by nature, and I obviously am curious on your behalf as well. I want to be able to share this with you. Well, guess what, guys? All of a sudden, I'm offered a 3.625% interest rate, which is a 0.25% improvement from the best offer that was submitted to me by my connection. Now, when you go into the Cash Flow Cruncher, which I have open here, and you can go ahead and download your own free version of this Cash Flow Cruncher worksheet. This is a typical Excel spreadsheet that starts with a cash flow summary page, which is a non-editable page, and then each tab that you fill in will carry data over for you onto the summary page. And you can see that $484,350 balance being reflected here in the form of a mortgage. Okay, this is a property loan, $484,350. And I go all the way over to the loan calculator tab here, where I've plugged in that same balance at the 3.825% original interest rate I was quoted by my buddy. Well, if you look down at the total cost of interest over a 30-year term, you can see a total amount that I'll end up paying in future interest on this $484,000 loan. If that doesn't make you nauseous, I don't know what else will. This is why we teach people how to pay these loans off in between 3 to 8 years instead. But we're going to assume that you're just going to make the monthly payments as agreed and pay this off over a full 360 months for purposes of today's conversation. Now, by shopping this with Credit Karma, I was able to get access to a 3.625% interest rate, which when I plug that number in instead, you can see the total cost of interest drops to $310,848.41. Well, if you just quickly do the math, you're going to find that that's a $24,735 difference in immediate savings. Folks, you realize that this took less than 3 minutes for this all to unfold. From me to go from here's an application submitted with my buddy to let me reach out to this other company, 3-minute difference. Now, it did end up taking roughly another 20 or so minutes for me to have a detailed conversation with the loan representative for this specific company in order to get this 0.25% interest rate locked in and start moving into processing and eventually underwriting. And now we are scheduled to close on Wednesday of next week. So this is a done deal. Not only did I save $24,000, you might be saying to yourself, well, you told me you saved $29,000, as if 24 wasn't good enough. You're right. Why was that? Well, because not only was my buddy unable to match this rate, which I did reach out to him and gave him the opportunity to, he couldn't do it. He also was going to end up charging me roughly $4,913 in total cost of closing on the good faith estimate versus this one-time fee of just $670 from this lender. Meaning that the total difference in lender fees was $4,243, totaling $28,978 in total savings thanks to this free resource of Credit Karma. By them pulling my credit, I did not have a second impact on that. Again, guys, you have a window of opportunity. If you move swiftly enough, you will not see your credit harmed by going out and rate shopping on both house loans and auto loans. And ultimately, I'm gonna walk away with a much, much better product and a lower monthly payment. Now, it gets even better than that. Let's not forget that even with just $1,000 per month in net cash flow. Net cash flow is the amount of money you have left over after all of your monthly obligations are paid. That includes both necessary spending, debt servicing, for example, food, utilities, gasoline, insurance costs, etc. And also unnecessary spending like discretionary items, eating out, travel, weekends away. And so discretionary spending, everything wrapped into that. If you're left with $1,000, which is not a very large net cash flow position to have, we can start applying $10,000 lump sum payments using debt weapons to this mortgage. So let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what that would mean over just say 5 years. If I apply a $10,000 lump sum payment on month 2, which in this case is going to end up being January. And by the way, my first payment isn't until February 1st, but I'm gonna say January here, $10,000 I apply. I'm gonna go down to month 12 and apply another 10, month 22 and apply another 10. And through paycheck parking with that $1,000 in net cash flow, we know these $10,000 lump sum payments are gonna be paid back to zero, so I can repeat the process every 10 months. And this is how we use these debt weapons to rapidly accelerate down the amortization schedule. And I'm gonna do this up until about the 62nd payment, at which point we'll be 5 years in on this loan. And what I want you to take note of is that within just the first 60 months or 5 years, here on the total interest saved field, you can see that I've already prevented over $100,000 in future interest costs on this loan, while also buying myself all of this extra equity on this property with each $10,000 amount, meaning the loan size has dropped now to $356,815 when it started at $484,000. So we now have $130,000 some odd dollars in equity if the property value just stays the same. If it continues to go up, we've bought ourselves even more equity here. This goes to show you how much control you have. I've saved almost 1/3 of the total interest I would pay on this loan by just having an extra $1,000 per month in net cash flow. And this is why reworking your budget using this cash flow cruncher, again, go to free, what is it? Cashflowcruncher.com. I'll put it in the description below for you. Cashflowcruncher.com. It's completely free of charge for you. You guys can start to work your budget, plug leaks, save the money everywhere possible. Don't cut back on things you love, cut back on things you hate or things you just simply don't really care about, and get that cash flow position as high as possible. Imagine what these numbers would look like if you had $2,000 per month in cash flow, or 3 or 5 or 10. So the potential here is almost endless. And this is how we gradually cash flow stacked our way into tremendous amounts of wealth over a very short period of time. And we're gonna help you guys do the same thing. Like I said, we help walk you through this on a one-on-one basis. We're the only company I know of that actually takes people one-on-one, not in a group setting, not with a product, not with a program. We do this one-on-one, and we actually hold your hand through this entire experience so that you can too create wealth with the ingredients that you have working for you right now. The way you do that is go to freecoachingcalendar.com. pick out your free coaching session. I will commit to doing that free coaching session for you personally. So I will make the time. I will set aside 45 minutes to an hour where you and I will sit and have a conversation about where you're at, where you want to be, and how you can get there as fast as possible. This is a non-solicitous conversation. And if it does make sense, we can end up potentially working together at some point down the road. If you want to just jump to that and you're ready to actually take charge of your finances and really see results like this, you can see how, look, if all I did was provide you one resource that saves you $30,000, it's going to be a pretty good investment for you to have paid for our coaching. You can just jump to the front of the line by picking a quick start vacancy now. Either way, make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. I'm going to keep bringing you great resources like this. I don't think people realize that within a matter of minutes, they can save tens of thousands of dollars. And if you don't think this applies to you because these numbers are maybe not the same as what you're working with, keep in mind that if you did this with just a $200,000 mortgage, the net difference on this would be an improvement of over $11,000, $11,613 to be exact. So this applies no matter where you're starting out, folks. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation to see exactly where you're at now. I'm going to help you get to where you want to go. And until I have a conversation with you, you make it a great day today and get that Credit Karma account. Take care.